just different.
Yeah. Fuck it, I'm stuck in my ways. Paper is all we about, nigga. All that beefing for the lame dudes. They just be running their mouth, nigga. Had me call a Brook and Rumble. Had them grimy niggas run up in your house, nigga. Cannon all up in your mouth. Ugh. Rick James on your couch. Whoa. Cheddar bang with the cloud. Ooh. Barry Blue with the account. Ooh. Only losers talking down, but looking up to me when I come around. That's why I got the crown. These dudes ain't ill, rapping they frail, nigga. That shit I can't feel, lacking the skill. I'm sleeping on rappers like Bill after the pill, yeah. Fuck is on your mind, boy. Came back to put you niggas back in line, boy. Get a good looking niggas on your side, boy. Oh, bitch, niggas, whole click a bunch of tomboys. God, Staten Island, yeah, it's mine, boy. I ain't trying, I just do it on the side, swear to God. How y'all in the booth all day and still playing catch up? You ain't even got a job. Defeat these niggas in my leisure. Beastin', rest in peace when I'm on that feature. Beastin', he's rapping, immaculate, feed him. Niggas G'ing him if they saying they seeing him. See me and my niggas one of a kind. Probably why everybody be so mad at us all the time. I ain't aiming at nothing, I'm just detonating the bomb. It's a brand new line since we messing with niggas' minds.
Fuck around and have a Billy in a Pico. Just a Rigo for a grip. Leave a nigga stitch on the lead low. To me, you niggas is fruit of the loom. They keep it brief though. We on leave a nigga reformed. I ain't meek though. See all of my niggas riding in the streets though. None of us ain't doing Willie. Start up on you like a hilly. I'm up in the semi, no bluff. It'll lift a nigga up. Try to tell the niggas that I be the one with the wave. Got a little shorty with the pose. In the stage, all my niggas black and with the white. A bunch of renegades. You ain't with the action on my life. You niggas just a rage. You ain't gotta act them with the shits, nigga. Messing with the flow, cause tell how I flip, niggas. Stepping up the medication, get a dish, nigga. Barry with the bat, just hit me when you need a hit, nigga. Known fact, I'ma knock it out the park. CBS is lighting up the dog, you don't wanna see the spark. Pop a nigga, let us see the twirl. You can have the Allen, nigga, I'ma need the word. Known fact, I'ma knock it out the park. CBS is lighting up the dog, you don't wanna see the spark. Still gon' do it, give a fuck about who do it first. You can have the Allen, I'ma need the universe.
I create the way. These niggas ride around it. I create the way. These niggas ride around it. I create the way. These niggas ride around it. I create the way. These niggas ride around it. Yeah. Fuck it, I'm stuck in my ways. Paper is all we about, nigga. All that beefing for the lame dudes. They just be running their mouth, nigga.
Me and my niggas one of a kind. Greatest of all time. I create the wave. These niggas riding around it.
Boom shaka laka. You already know the vibery is who run the city. Knicks versus Nets. T-Time, Big Fan, Breezy. We in the building. It's
yes, sir.
Time. And shout out to everybody rocking with us through off season. You feel me? I know both organizations are anxious. You know the. Let me get to my shout outs out the way. I always do that. I always like start jumping into talking shit. JJ Jackson in the check-in, first one in the building. I see you, Brody. Team Nixon ish. Jimmy J1 in the building. Alex Rivera in the building. My son with the Arabic name. I don't know. I don't even know what to call you because it's an Arabic writing. But shout out for you for being in the building, Playboy. We see.
He talking heavy too. I like that. Early, all over the world. We in the building. Shout out to Brooklyn, man. We all over. Facts.
He said you gotta make the playoffs. You gotta win a game to run the city. What you talking about? How you coming here talking spicy about making the playoffs and you guys got the same amount of playoff wins as a team that didn't make the playoffs?
Early.
Like, how do you brag about that? That you got just as many playoffs. You got just as many playoff wins as a team that didn't even make the playoffs, and here you are bragging about the playoffs. That is amazing to me.
Hold on, Jimmy trying to fire back. What he said? He said that's what we call making the playoffs. You got to win enough games to make the playoffs. Stop it! Don't do that. We made it there. Y'all was over there. We was over here. This is the playoff party. You guys didn't make the party. You know what I'm saying? You got uninvited to the playoff party. Stop it.
Y'all was the guy at the party that didn't get no girls. You just showed up. You just showed up. You didn't get no dances, nothing. You just stood in the corner with your hands in your pockets. You might as well stayed home. That's what you should have done. Y'all didn't get no dubs. Y'all wasn't in a party with your hands up like this. No, y'all was in the corner getting no shorties. Y'all might as well had stayed home.
Nah.
What you come out for?
Brown came to compete, and Brown was at the game with the owner's wife. The owner, she the owner too. He's staying. He came to compete. He competed, bro. Y'all laugh when I say they competed. Bruce Brown was playing like a star out there.
I didn't say he did. It wasn't good enough. Y'all didn't get no wins.
But he knew it was a playoff atmosphere, and he played like it. So shout out to Bruce Brown. I think he re-signed, and they talking about re-signing Clax. We'll see.
It wasn't good enough. Y'all didn't win no games. 0 playoff wins. Same amount as a team that did not even make the playoffs. That's embarrassing.
The Nets still love all over. Look at this new fan that pulled up. And then I think Pete
playing with 2 future Hall of Famers, and y'all ain't getting no playoff wins.
The love is still there. We still love. And when it come down to records, like Nash got a better coaching record than your coach do. Like, so where we going with this? You know what I'm saying?
I mean,
yo.
He only coached 2 years, bro. Like you can't talk about coaching records. Coach Tommy T record is way better than.
And look how many superstars he let go. He played with mad different superstars, and he made his career off roles. He not that good of a coach. You're not about to do Brooklyn like that, man. We're gonna take it there, man. Stop it.
Oh no, let's not do that. He's a way better coach. Which one? He's a way better coach than Steve Nash. Let's not do that. Coach Tommy T made it to the Eastern Conference Finals. You feel me? He took a Minnesota Timberwolves team that wasn't making the playoffs to their first playoff appearance in forever. He comes to the Knicks, does the same thing. Take them to their first playoff appearance in forever. You give Steve Nash. He played with he had 3 Hall of Famers in his 2-year tenure. And all he got was to the second round once?
Bro, listen.
No wins in his second year as a head coach with KD and Kyrie Irving on his team. Future Hall of Famer Blake Griffin, future Hall of Famer LaMarcus Aldridge on his team, and couldn't get 1 playoff win. And you gonna sit there with a straight face and say that you gonna try to mention that man in the same breath as Coach Tommy T?
I'm saying Tommy T, he ain't impressing me like that. And far as Nash, I will admit,
Nash is atrocious.
It is a misunderstanding about what's going on with Nash and how coaches and perspectives. Like me as a fan, when I was listening to the interview with Letterman and KD, like it was a interview he hosted, like I'm saying, on Netflix. I watched the whole thing. That shit was fire. So they asked about Nash and coaching, specifically to KD. He the one in the interview, right? So Nash said a coach's responsibility is only to manage personalities. I seen Sean Marks in a press conference. He was like, as far as the identity of the team, it all on the players. So what I'm saying, that's 2 times Sean Marks and KD protecting Nash. But Nash, let me talk to you real quick, because I see you being protected by KD and I'm saying and Sean Marks, and I respect it, and I'm not trying to take it there with you. But what I will say is this: if you're supposed to manage personalities, how is that equivalent to winning coaching? What it has to be more that you're gonna bring to the table. I'm not letting that fly, my guy. As a Net fan, you've been here enough time for us to see adjustments as a coach, and you ain't been doing that. So I gotta keep it real with you. Stay out of this tea time. This ain't got nothing to do with tea time right now. You know what I'm saying? Or the Knicks. You know what I'm saying? Like, I
only agree with what you're saying right now.
Like, I only want to do this because a lot of times you're gonna have KD and Sean Marks come to your defense, and even me, I want to work for the Brooklyn Nets. But if I got close to you, bro, I couldn't lie to you. I'll have to be honest so you can understand my basketball wisdom. You feel me? So like, you gotta realize that the rookies that you got in that draft class is not to be ignored, not for only the fact that we feel as the fans, they fan favorites with Cam Thomas, Kessler, and etc., right? But other teams are doing it and it's working. So, take pages out of other coaches' books. I'm pretty sure great coaches took pages out of other great coaches' books. And I want you to eat some of that humble pie and feel like, that's part of your obligation, part of your responsibility. Sean Marks and how you say KD, they're going to protect you. And even me, I'm a Brooklyn Net fan. You're a Brooklyn Net coach, but I got to be honest. So that's why I'm asking you. You feel me? To just look at some of the stuff that you think worked from other coaches and see how I can implement inside of what your coaching is. Because in these last 2 years, from my understanding, this is what KD and Kyrie wanted. They way didn't work when it come down to how coaches' perspective is. Like, they don't look at you like you need it for your basketball wisdom. They're saying that you're there to manage personalities. I'm not with it. So I just want you to do more than manage personalities. They said KD was the best player development coach. Sean Marks said that. You was a player development coach on Golden State. Utilize that. Ball rotation, utilize that. See what you did wrong and go back and say, all right, I could fix it like this. Don't rely all on superstars to come to our team, because Sean Marks said it, and I did a vlog on this. The culture changed, and the culture changes because the mentality changed. And again, Sean Marks, we playing cleanup since out of the core four, you kept Joey and let the other three walk, but you should have kept Jarrett Allen. This is a learning lesson for all fans. You know what I'm saying? We looking at why we losing, and we looking at it like, all right, well, certain players could stay. Like, we banked on Kyrie and KD. We kind of predicted the COVID thing for Kyrie and whatnot. But I seen him on an interview on I Am Athlete, and he was like, if he knew what he knew now, he would have been playing with LeBron in LA. Like, I don't need that type of energy, my guy. Like, what you mean?
Wait, hold on. Who said that? I missed that part.
Yeah, on I Am Athlete, Kyrie Irving had an interview with those guys, and he said, if I knew what I know now, I would have been playing probably with LeBron in LA. And he tried to laugh it off, but I'm sitting there like, this it's like that. Okay, all right. So it's like that. I'm gonna keep it real with you. Like, y'all want to link up and y'all want to be friends and all that, but realistically, the only commitment I seen is from Bruce Brown and KD. I would say KD and Bruce Brown in that order. And the rookies look like they there to play. If Kyrie just want to, you know what I'm saying? I think he a competitor, and, maybe he said that for the TV, but I ain't impressed. I want to see more 7-Eleven. I want to actually see them, KD.
If y'all know what's good for y'all, y'all would get Kyrie Irving off y'all team.
He's going I don't know, man.
He's going to take up. Not only the statement that you just made is to me, that's alarming. You feel me? Like, he's already
alarming. That's the word for it. Yeah, no, I was highly, you know what I mean? Flabbergasted, you know what I mean? Like,
he's going to command a lot of salary cap. You feel me? Like, a lot. And you're not even sure if you're going to get a full season of basketball from this man. His track record alone should tell you that you're not. You feel me? I think he's been in the league for almost 10 years, if not 10 years. He's played over 60 games only four times in 10 years. That's horrible. You feel me? That's horrible. And you add that to the fact that before it was injury, now you add it. He also has an injury history with the fact that mentally he just be checked out and does whatever the hell he wants to do. You feel me? So you got to also worry about him getting injured and his willingness to play for your team. And he's going to damn near be a max player.
I want to speak to that.
So I got you. So the fact that he's damn near going to be a max player eliminates the help that you could put around KD. You feel me? Like, me personally, I'm not a net, but if I was in y'all situation, I would rather have a whole bunch of solid ass role players that I know that's going to show up every day to play with KD than a superstar that potentially might not be there. You feel me? Like, at least you got hard working guys every day to do everything that you need. I'd rather play with 4 or 5 Bruce Browns than 1 Kyrie. You feel me? Like, for that kind of money. You feel me? Like, for that kind of money, and put KD in that situation is more advantageous for your organization and have those kind of players around KD. But if I was y'all, I'm going to end it with this. If I was the Nets, Kyrie will be on the first thing smoking out of Brooklyn because he's not to be trusted. He's in a contract year. He's going to 1 extension. Like, y'all I got to make a choice. What's good, Barry? There's some people in the building I ain't get to say what up to.
Yo, yeah, shout out to Barry.
Facebook user, Dwayne, we see y'all. Yeah, but go ahead, bro.
Yeah, yo, shout out to all the Nets and Knicks fans in the building. Nets fans first. I know how it go. You know what I'm saying? Thank y'all for tuning in. We appreciate y'all. Like we said,
it's the off
season. Man. Yeah, man, y'all rocking with us. You know what I'm saying? I'm off season Breezy, aka big fan Breezy, you know what I mean? But again, you know, I said KD, he should never be the biggest guy on the court. And again, speaking to what Sean Marks said, he said something along those lines about committed. You know, these players, regardless of how much we paying them and their, I guess, clout behind their name, you know, the commitment is what we need for the players that they invested in, them being star players instead of solid role players. You know, we got lucky that Bruce Brown was committed and stayed with us because he could have left last season. I think the Brooklyn Nets make it priority keeping him. He was sitting next to Joe Tsai's wife at the Liberty game, like to smiling, taking pictures. That's a reason. That's saying, yo, you know, we taking Bruce Brown seriously because again, you got to realize, seems like Milwaukee rival teams, they'll take them from us. You know what I mean? Not take them, but they'll match the offer. And like again, the thing about Boston is, even though he said that about Robin Williams, he from Boston. You know what I'm saying? So he probably flex like that. Yo, Bruce Brown, he dunked the ball. He energized the whole Barclays. Like, he flexed and all that. Like, he's a player that the fans love, and he's a fan favorite. We have to keep him. Like, it's not even a debate. It ain't about, ain't no if. We keep him, and then we try to keep Nick Clax. You know what I mean? And as fans, well, I'll say for me, I don't feel the same way I do about Nick Clax that I do Bruce Brown. When Bruce Brown needed to step up and be more than a role player and be a star, he did it. Nick Clax didn't do that. Nick Clax was an excellent role player, but by him missing those free throws, just make him a role player. By him making them free throws, make him a star. Bruce Brown, when we needed him to be a star, even though we lost that game, he outscored KD and Kyrie. Like, what's going on? You feel what I'm saying? And I'm saying that to say, as far as the culture changing and having solid players that's consistent and committed and reliable, Sean Marks has to go in a direction like the Coach Pop system. I don't understand why he went away from that. Like, stay with the Coach Pop system. You miss Ime Udoka because he's from the Coach Pop system. Like, all your guys from coaching should be coming from the Coach Pop system. Why not debate what I'm saying then? Yo, tweet this to Sean Marks, man. Yo, we should have coffee. I'm telling you, man. Coach Pop in the last 8 teams that was in the playoffs, 7 out of 8 of those coaches from the Coach Pop system. It's for real. So I said all that to say, you know, Sean Marks, he's always going to have this next to his name where his reputation is from the Coach Pop system. The Spurs is a team from the NBA that won 5 championships in the NBA. They will always be respected. And again, being from that organization, it looks good on your resume. So Sean Marks know what he's here to do. He's here to do the same thing that the Spurs did, become an ABA team to win NBA championships. That's why Sean Marks is here. And running the city is just a piece of the pie, you know, because the Knicks, they drafted him, didn't give him no play. He didn't get a chance to do his thing. You know what I'm saying? He wanted to showcase his talents.
And he went to other teams and he was still trash. So there's that. You feel me? But you know, to segue from something we was talking about earlier about, you know, the whole, if I was the Nets, I would get rid of Kyrie Irving. Well, I want to take that on to, you know, to the Knicks. You feel me? Like, you know, for all season, there's been a lot of speculation and talk, and it still is with Knicks fans wanting Julius Randle gone. And I feel like, you know, shout out to my guy, BJ Samuels. You feel me? He posted a video earlier that pretty much detailed what I was saying pretty much all season, but he just, you know, went into it layer by layer.
With that Knicks fan, I know you're talking about.
He did it more layer by layer, and I just want to reiterate some of those things because I said my theory about how I feel about y'all should get rid of Kyrie Irving. Now I'm gonna give my theory again why I think we should keep Julius Randle, and how the Knicks fans have been tricked by the New York media into thinking that Julius Randle is a major problem. You feel me? It's for several reasons. I'm probably gonna go live. I'm gonna give you the brief overview, but I'll probably go live after this. I haven't done Knicks issue in a very long time. It's a lot of
I know
right now. But
shit going on, man.
Yeah, I'll probably go live after this and give it more detail. But for one, right, the New York media is the reason why the Knicks fans hate Julius Randle. 100%. 100%. Because what the New York media does is they clickbait. And they found out Julius Randle was going to get all the eyes on their publications, and they said whatever they needed to say to get y'all tight and have y'all click on their publications. They spread a lot of false information on Julius Randle, saying that he wanted to leave the organization. And never once did Julius Randle ever claim that he wanted to leave the New York Knicks. Never once. All these behind-the-scene talks that they supposedly happened, and Julius Randle told you they were all false. We're talking about major publications talking about Julius Randle was requesting trades. Like major publications, the Post, major radio publications saying these things that are not true. And this is why I always get on here and say, if it ain't coming from Woj and Sam's and places like that, I don't believe it, because they be capping for clicks. You feel me? So you have that. Then you add the fact that Julius Randle, Knicks fans act like Julius Randle is getting max player money. He's not. He's the 40th. He's like higher than 40th paid in the NBA. And one of three players that's averaging 20, 10, and 5. That sounds like a discount to me, especially when you look at the fact that he's been playing out of position most of the season. He's not a point forward. But the fact that we had a lack of a point guard this season thrust him to be more of a play creator than he needed to be. This is why he had a rough first year when he came to the Knicks, because of the same situation. We didn't have good point guard play. So Julius Randle had to be a point forward.
Hold on. Let's get to that real quick. I want to ask you something. You see how they say KD got a lot to say about the players that come to the team. He's the best player on the team. Yeah. And I'm saying, does Randle have that same pull?
No.
Do you think he should have that same pull?
No. I think me personally,
I'm missing on the point guards, man.
A lot of people want put a lot of blame on the front office. Me personally, I think the front office is doing a great job, because this is a rebuild. What we're watching is a real rebuild. The Knicks have never been through a real rebuild since Patrick Ewing. You know what a real rebuild is?
Yeah, we sold out for. With Dinwiddie, we had Dinwiddie, Karras, Jarrett, and Joe Harris. The core four was a rebuild, bro. That's why I fell in love. Like, I was just a fan, but you know what I'm saying? But when we had them, yeah.
So I say that to say, a lot of the jokes is the Knicks been rebuilding for 30, 20 something, 25 years, 30 years. That's not true. You feel me? We haven't. We haven't, because ever since the Patrick Ewing era, the things that have been done were we are trying to win now moves, but they haven't worked. They were bad moves by the organization. You don't spend the kind of money that the Knicks have been spending over the years to be rebuilding. You don't draft veteran. I mean, you don't sign all these high-profile veterans even after they're over the hill for you to be rebuilding. Rebuilding is building through the draft. You draft players, you keep them for 3 to 4, 5 years. See what you got. You sign veteran players to complement the stars that you build through your system. That's a rebuild, and this is what we're trying to do now. You feel me? So I'm not upset at what our front office is doing. I think our front office is doing an amazing job, because they have us in great position. We got a lot of young talent and a lot of draft picks. You feel me? That's what you do when you rebuild. So
it's Tommy T, the coach for that young talent.
Listen, I got mixed reviews on Coach Tommy T. I was part
Let's hear the bad ones. I like to hear the bad stuff about Coach Tommy T.
I'm gonna give you all of them. You feel me? I like so I was part of the Fire Coach Tommy T train for a minute. You feel me? Only because I didn't like the way he was playing the minutes he was playing RJ Barrett. That was my biggest gripe. You feel me? I didn't want RJ Barrett to get injured or have a D Rose.
Oh yeah, you said you don't want him to do him like he did Rose.
Yeah, so that was my major gripe that put me on the Fire Coach Tommy T train. Because before that, I was very pro Coach Tommy T. We need to keep him, because I think you built. That's part of the rebuild, is having a consistent system for your young players to learn and adapt to. So these things are second nature. You feel me? Like, you don't want a new organization every year or two. You feel me? You don't want a new game plan every year or two, so you have your young guys having to continuously learn new systems.
When the last time y'all had a good point guard to you?
Like Charlie Ward.
When was that? When was Charlie Ward?
I'm lying. Jason Kidd and Chauncey Billups, even though they was over the hill, they gave us quality minutes, and that's why we went to the second round, because of those two guys. You feel me?
Shout out to Jason Kidd. He in the playoffs, some finals.
Yeah, Jason Kidd and Chauncey Billups gave that offensive stability that it needed, especially when we were dealing with a lot of injuries, because that whole team was old as dirt. You feel me? They still kept us in the right path and with a lot of stability because of their veteran leadership. So those two, I would say, are the last good point guards we had. You feel me? And then the acquisition of Derrick Rose, even though he's not a starter. You feel me? But, you know, Derrick Rose. But but that leads me into my next point about the Knicks. You know, I was saying a lot about Julius Randle and, you know, how the media is tricking us out of position when it comes to him.
I threw some salt on sending Kendall Randle. Because he implodes to me. Like, he implodes. He doesn't explode and be yelling at his teammate like, yo, you should have did that and you should have been there. Why wasn't you right there? He don't do that. It just looks like he get mad at himself.
That's not true. That's absolutely not true.
Who you seen him yell at?
He does I seen him yell at Fournier. I seen him yell at.
He probably was yelling at French fry Fournier.
I seen him do that a lot. You feel
y'all keep it Fournier?
I think we do. I think we run it back with this team. I think.
Kev said that. Y'all, Kev, you and Kev agree on running it back with that same team.
I just think we need a point guard. I think you start again. I was getting into this point. I think you start IQ at point guard. I think he's ready. I think the lack of point guard hurt Julius Randle and Evan Fournier.
You seen what happened, right?
What?
Y'all picked up Tim Hardaway.
Yeah, as a scout. Yeah. So
to work with the point guards, right?
No, he's a scout. He's scouting talent. You feel me? So yeah, I think it, and that all depends on the draft as well. You feel me?
Probably trying to draft a point guard for y'all.
So what I'm saying is, and I think that point guard might end up being a backup point guard, but I think you start Emmanuel quickly, and I think that's going to be a big difference with Derrick Rose being a backup. It's all whoever we have at point guard could probably be our third point guard option. You have, you know, McBride as the second, or you like the off guard, like him and Derrick Rose could be interchangeable in that part. You feel me? And you start Emmanuel quickly. I think that makes all the difference in the world. Like I said, I think you get a better Evan Fournier this season with a point guard. You feel me? Like, even in Orlando, they never had a great point guard, but their point guards were serviceable. You feel me? Like,
I think that's why Tim Hardaway is there.
Yeah, like, so for instance, like he played with Elfrid Payton when Elfrid Payton was all right. You feel me? Elfrid Payton wasn't always garbage. You feel me? His early years in Orlando, he was okay. You feel me? And that's where you see Evan Fournier give you 16 to 18 points a game, because he's playing with a point guard, running off screens, things of that nature. I think you have more of that with Emmanuel Quickley, because Emmanuel Quickley could consistently break down a defense. He gets to his spots on a consistent basis, and he can pass the ball, and he's a scoring threat. He's a deep threat off the screen. You feel me? He could get to the paint and the basket, and he has pretty decent court vision. You feel me? Several times late in the season, he averaged over 7 to 8 assists a game. You feel me? Like, you got I think he's ready, and he's putting in the work right now. He's with C Brick right now, a highly touted trainer that a lot of star players like to work out with in the off season.
I'm impressed with the Tim Hardaway pickup. That I think that's gonna be a good look. I ain't gonna lie.
Used to work out with C Brick all the time. Julius Randle put in work with C Brick. A lot of NBA players search this guy out to train with him because he's nice like that with the training. And my guy Quick is already back in the lab putting in the pain. You feel me? He's ready and he's hungry. He needs that starting spot, and I think that's going to be a big difference in our win-loss ratio coming in next season. You feel me?
Yeah. Kemba was a high risk. There wasn't no low risk about it.
Yeah, I know.
I said season up.
Nah, see, you always mix up the theory of the low risk, high reward. The low risk was the money part. You feel me? We ain't spend a lot of bread. He ain't jamming us up financially for a lot of years. Next year is his last season on contract. It's an easy contract to move because it's no money and it's an expiring contract. The high reward is if he was able to produce. You feel me? That was
he
the high
wasn't.
reward part. You feel me? So it was there's the low risk, but there was no reward. You
But
feel
what
me?
I'm saying is, again, if Quickly starts the season opposed to Kemba, and you got Quickly and Rose, that's your 1 and 2. Y'all record ain't the same. Let's be real. If we're gonna talk about it,
That's what I just said.
yeah, that's what I'm saying. So the reward was a it was a high risk. That's what I'm saying. The high risk was winning and losing. So he gave y'all a lot of losses. Even though I did see Tommy T pull him out the lineup, I do remember that. But at the same time, it was so awkward. He did it right before the Mecca game, and I mean not the City game, and that was odd because it was his first. Like just that. That's what I mean about Tommy T. He's 65 plus. Can he coach these young players, man? Is he gonna let them play? Deuce McBride should have got more minutes at point guard than Burke in the fourth quarter. Quickly should have got more minutes. Like fourth quarter, they was giving Burke minutes in the fourth quarter as the point guard. So I'm saying the risk that y'all took by resigning Burks, y'all missed on that. You could say that, I guess, he did break John Stark's record, so I respect it, but winning like Westbrook, and there's a lot of players that get their numbers, but what's the chemistry of players that's helping winning? They don't make no money at all. It's your young boys out there. It's your young guys. Those the ones that's, you know what I'm saying, helping y'all win. Forget salary cap. Their salary cap is light. Just put them in the game. They're going to play harder than the other team, and that's all we need. That's why I was saying Nash, why he don't pay attention to the last draft class. You could get busy. You could get busy with these rookies. All you got to do is pay them, and we always contrast the rookies. And at the end of the season, I still said Cam Thomas was better than Quentin Grimes, and we still debated or whatever. But the point is that both of us as fans are excited to see what the rookies from last draft class do in this draft class. You know what I'm saying? I feel like, shit, we got the 23rd pick. I hope they get a center next to KD, because that's where we missed that too with the 20, Jared Allen. We do good in the 20s. Jared Allen was the 22nd pick.
So you talk about it, y'all need a center, and you talk about my coach not playing people. Your coach don't play people as well. Y'all needed a big man in the paint. Y'all was getting beat on the boards a lot. And you got Andre Drummond playing only a half of basketball. You got LaMarcus Aldridge sitting on the bench. You need scoring. Like, you talking about playing guys, you want a center, but is your coach going to play them? You feel me? You talk about us not playing the young guys. Has your coach played your young guys? You got what's Kessler Edwards sitting on the bench all playoffs. You feel me? You got the DD, whatever the hell his name is, sitting on the bench all playoffs. You got what's the big man name sitting on the bench the whole
Day'Ron Sharpe.
You talk about my coach not playing guys and not constituting a winning. Your coach had mad talent on the bench and he's not playing, and none of them.
So hold on. My thing is this: if that KD is saying that the coach is only supposed to manage personalities, who's to say who come out the game? Know what I mean? KD. Like, yo, I'm not coming out the game right now. I tell you when I'm coming out the game. Like, it's chaos. Like, we can't have the players telling the other players when they coming in, like, yo, call timeout. Like, no, I ain't calling timeout, man. Wait, man.
At some point, KD was looking at Steve Nash in the face, like, yo, you better not take me out. Like,
nah, man, we can't have that, man.
Not take me out.
Nash gotta stop. Listen, far as managed personalities, he gotta stand up for himself. Like, his personality, like I said, Sean Marks and KD, they gonna protect you. I respect it. The fans are upset because we feel like the talent you got in the draft class, you could have played them and it could have helped us win. You know, we could just cut to the chase. That's what it is. If you would have played Day'Ron Sharpe, he could have helped. He could have definitely helped because I see him play with his back to the basket. He's the only player that could create his own shot in the paint for real. And he want to run like he's a rookie. Like, and he's well rested. Like, you ain't play him for a while long. And when you did play him, you played him in like a little bulk. He played like 32 games, and then when he played those 32 games, the record was impressive. You know what I'm saying? Like, or his play was impressive. Let's say that, you know what I mean? And, you know, if he got more minutes, he could have been more productive. And yeah, we do fault Nash for not playing the rookies, and we need to utilize that 23rd pick and get a big man. Shout to Brandon Wright. He a fan. He was saying that we should get a Koloko. His name is Christian Koloko. He's nice. I think he played for like Arizona. He's like 7 foot with like a 7'3" wingspan or something like that. He's nice for real. The case in point is we want KD to be finesse. If that's his game, you're not going to bulk up to get power, because that's the alternative, is that he bulk up and then focus on being the 4. But it looked like he's going to stay that. In the interview, he said that too. He was like, yo, you know, my game is my game. So I don't think he's going to change much. But I think it's up to the coaching staff, Sean Marks, to surround him with bigger players, man.
It's too late in his career for him to start putting on weight. If you look at his body pause, and, you know, he got a little bit of an injury history now. Him putting on weight might not be the best thing for him moving forward, right? You don't gotta leave that up there. You just said 100, bro.
yeah. Shout out to the Nets fans in the building.
Yo, so that might not be the best thing for his body moving forward. You feel me? Putting all that on weight. Like you said, like, he's at the point of the career. You gotta get guys around him that do everything that you want him to do. You feel me? Outside of scoring, you need guys that rebound, defend, that play bully ball.
You see Cleveland lineup. That's the ideal lineup that would work great with KD. You got Laurie McCarnan, making Laurie. You know what I'm talking about, right?
Yeah,
Markin, him. Then you got Jared Allen. We let him go. That was ridiculous. Kevin Love. You know what I'm saying? Then you got Evan Mobley. You feel what I'm saying? All of these guys, they got wingspan. It's hard to get around those guys. They're going to contest the shot. You know, they're not going to you can't just blow past KD and then there's a shorter guy there. No, there's a taller guy there. And that's what I'm saying. Like, put KD in a situation where he's not the primary defender. And if he is, there's a bigger guy behind him. Don't have him the post. Don't have him in a situation where he's playing the 5. You know, he's strongest at the 3. You know, let him rotate to the 5 if necessary. He can rotate from 3, 4, and 5, but his primary, you know, is small forward. You feel what I'm saying? And I think we need to stay true to that for us going forward, building a team. I seen a fan say we need a wing player. Barry Garrick said that. I disagree, bro. I think we got Kessler Edwards and Bruce Brown, bless you, and those are our wing players. We got 2 of the best. We could develop Kessler Edwards. He was averaging 17 per out of college. He could score the ball. Just keep developing him. And the proof is in Jared Allen and Karis LeVert. But we let them go. Let's not make that same mistake with Bruce Brown and in last draft class. You know, winning is about building a culture. And to get into the conversation I was trying to say with you when you was talking, but I ain't want to cut you off, is it don't work all the time when you add veterans. It worked with Toronto. We're adding Kawhi Leonard, right? It worked with Golden State. We're adding KD. It works. It works some in Iguodala. You know what I'm saying? But Iguodala wasn't a star necessarily. He was like a strong role player, but he was a veteran, is my point. But sometimes for teams to win, to understand the culture of what that team is, what that town represent, it's the draft. And I'm saying that to say, when I looked at the attributes of what the Nets fans are, like a guy from India there's an article I read. He was like, and one of the attributes was underdog. That's when it felt great to be a Nets fan. We went from being the underdog to winning the championship in one off season. You feel what I'm saying? And it got weird because Nash became the coach. The fans riding with it like, yeah, we was the underdogs. And I'm saying all that to say that's what we identified as a team, far as building the culture was the underdog, and we got that took away when we invested so much in these superstars instead of letting our talent come from the draft class and building what we was winning with. And when Sean Marks first got here, we was winning with the core for. You know what I'm saying? By now, y'all know what the call for is.
Yeah, I mean, it's like for my team, right? I just need us to. What we are building to say what you're saying about culture. What we're building is the culture. Last year was a rough year, but what I did see from the team is fight. You feel me? Like, even down to the last game, like they were playing like we were still in it. You feel me? Like, and that's part of the culture, is like that no give up attitude. And I like to see that everybody was ready when it was called upon. You feel me? That's coaching. To have guys ready. He's got guys that wasn't playing, getting no PT, and when they got the opportunity, they shine. You feel me? You got a guy like Obi that wasn't really seeing a lot of PT during the season. A lot of guys where they gave up, you feel me, and not putting the effort when they started getting PT, but he stayed ready. And at the end of the season, when he was getting major minutes because Julius Randle went down, he showed out. That has to do with coaching. That is the culture. You feel me? So even though I was on a fire Coach Tommy T train, I can't say that he's all bad, because he kept these guys ready and hungry and pushing in for next season. Like I said, you already see guys already putting in work, getting ready for next season. There ain't no vacation. This ain't no vacation. Guys is already putting in the pain to get ready for next year. You feel me? And that has to do with the message that's being spread through the organization, dog. Like, be ready, because you want to be better than this year. You got to start putting in the pain this year. And I think Immanuel Quickley is a prime example, and I think he's going to get that call next year to start, because when you look at what's available at the point guard through free agency, we got the 11th pick. I don't really think that is a game changer that we're going to get in. I know it ain't a game changer that we're going to get in the draft, and it ain't a game changer that we're going to get in free agency. You feel me? But what I did see from Immanuel Quickley at the end of the season is the fact that he's ready to be a game changer. That kid ain't got no fear in his heart from the big moment. And the thing that I love most about Immanuel Quickley, he don't turn over the ball. He got like a 5-to-1 assist to turnover ratio. That's amazing. You feel me? Like, so, yeah, give that man the keys. He's shooting damn near 40% from 3-point range at the end of the season. You feel me? Like, he's ready. Give Immanuel Quickley the ball. And I said all this to say that the reason why I want them to run it back is because you have to build a culture. You don't build a culture by trading away players every year. You feel me? You don't.
I agree.
You don't. You feel me? You don't.
Yeah, no doubt.
The year before the bubble season, we overachieved. Everybody knows this. This is not like a hidden thing. Making the 4th seed was an overachievement. This season, I thought we build on that overachievement, but we regress back to what we naturally should have been that year.
But let's stay right there.
Wait, hold on. What I'm saying and moving forward is to continue growing and progressing. That's how you continue to build a culture. You don't trade everybody every year. You've seen growth in Obi's game. You've seen growth in Immanuel Quickley's game. You've seen what Quentin Grimes could do, and you expect growth in his game. You feel me? Like, these are the things. You've seen the growth in RJ Barrett's game. So these are the things that you build on to start building a winning culture. And as these guys progress and get better, that's when you sprinkle in the veterans you need to support those young guys. You feel me? But yeah, and speaking of support, I'm sorry, but I'm gonna let you go after I say this.
Go on, be chilling, bro.
I don't know where I said this at, but I don't know if it was this. I said this last show, but I would absolutely love to see Carmelo Anthony come back to help Julius Randle manage what it's like to be a star in New York City, because Melo was the prime example of who you wanted your star to be in this kind of a market, whether win or lose, he stood there, answered all the tough questions. He took all the criticism in stride and came out and gave his best effort every night. You feel me? You can say what you want about the deficiencies in his game, but you can never say Melo cheated you with his ability every night. You feel me? But yeah, so that's what I mean by bringing in the proper veterans to support the young guys. You feel me? Like like you mentioned Andre Iguodala, he's a veteran you bring in to support the young guys.
Exactly.
Like that's what I mean. But yeah, my fault. Go ahead.
No, trust me, all valid. Again, just adding to what you said prior. Going to the gym and mean a lot. Even KD acknowledged that in an interview. He was talking to Letterman and he was letting them know. He was like, do you ever get out of shape? KD said, yeah. He said, how do you get out of shape? You're a ball player. He said, well, it's about being acclimated. You know what I mean? If I take off 2-3 weeks of playing basketball and, the competition didn't take off, and they still practicing, they still out there, they got that's how you get the edge. You know what I'm saying? Basically like that Mamba mentality, like you got to always keep working, work harder than the next guy. You know what I'm saying? There's stories about Kobe. He spoke on Kobe, but this is a story I heard elsewhere about, I think Gilbert Arenas. I forget, I'm not sure, but Kobe was there working out when he got there. And when he left, Kobe was the first one in and last one out. And he asked Kobe why he worked so hard. He said, I knew you was watching. I wanted to let you know I'll work you. You know what I'm saying? And again, having that mindset, any player with that mindset is destined for greatness. So shout out to Quickly. I haven't got no salt for him. But again, I feel like what Nash did, it was a debacle, in a sense where you can have all the talent in the world, it don't mean nothing if all you did is to manage personalities. I could be there for that, you know what I mean? I'm pretty cool, if you met me in person and if all you guys needed me to do is be cool with you guys, that's easy work, trust me. I could talk about a lot of things. I like a lot of things, you know what I mean? I'm a likable guy, you know what I mean? We need coaches to do more than like guys and be there to, I don't know, what is that? Manage their personalities. You need to be, look, go home and watch film because the way he crossed you over, you should have knew he was going to the left. I don't want to hear nothing. Go run a lap. You know what I'm saying? You missed all those free throws, Nick Clax. Go shoot some free throws. I don't want to talk to you right now. You got to put your foot down. Nash, you're going to keep being protected by the media, by Sean Marks and KD, and I'm even protecting you because you're a Brooklyn Nets coach. That's why I'm saying all of this. But somebody got to be honest with you. You there for more than that. You there to set your footprint. You're not a champion because you're a player, but now you have the opportunity to be a champion as a coach, and you could do it by paying attention to these rookies. Pay attention to the draft class. And again, to add to what you were saying, I was kicking it with the kid Gal, it's only entertainment.
Yeah.
He was on the Spaces, you know what I'm saying? I ain't know it was him. I ain't gonna lie, you know what I'm saying? I ain't want to jump crazy, but how dudes be having fake accounts and shit, but it was really him. And the discussion was true point guards. How necessary is a true point guard opposed to like a true point guard, like it's just he's more of a facilitator, like a CP3, more of a pass first and shoot second, or do you
CP3 versus Russell Westbrook type situation,
right? Or more is the league going forward, more of a combo guard, kind of like a dude in Cleveland. What's his name? Garland. You feel what I'm saying? Combo guards that could score the ball, even a Dame Lillard or something like that. Is the league going towards that? What do you need to win? Do you need your superstar to be the point guard, or do you need just a tough role player like a Stephen Curry? He's a superstar. Charlie Ward, he's a role player. But to win, what do you need the point guard to be for having a winning ball club?
I think it depends on your staff, like who you have on pause. That's crazy. It depends on your roster. It depends on your roster and what your talent's like. Chris Paul works with Phoenix because Devin Booker is a bucket. You need a point guard that could get Devin Booker the ball because Devin Booker is a bucket. You feel me? But now if you have a team, like for instance, let's take it all the way back to the 76ers with Allen Iverson. Nobody could score on that team. You feel me? So you need your point guard to be a bucket. You feel me? It depends on your roster. Again, like you had like
I thought Eric Snow hurt Philly because he didn't have a jumper. Like
so,
for real.
So for instance, right, you go let's go to Carmelo Anthony's Nuggets. You need a Chauncey Billups to get Carmelo Anthony the ball. You feel me? Let's go to Kobe Bryant's Laker. You needed Derek Fisher to get Kobe Bryant and Shaq the ball. You feel me? Like it depends on your team. You know, even though Memphis played great without Ja, I think Ja works great for Memphis because ain't nobody else on that team is really shot creators. You feel me? So you need the point guard to be able to create his own shot and score the basketball. But for some strange reason, that team worked without without Ja. You feel me?
Coaching. There ain't no some strange reason. It's the coaching.
And then, like for instance, you like to mention Pop all the time. You look at the Spurs. You need a Tony Parker to get him in the ball. You feel me? Tony Parker could score, but Tony Parker rarely ever scored over 20 points a game. I don't think he did that ever in his whole career. You need a John Starkin for Karl Malone. It all depends on the roster and who's on the team as far as what you need. But I got boogies right now. I got to blow my nose, Playboy.
All right, I'm with you. Shout out to Dame. Dame is he was the one holding the spaces, him and the guy where him and they cool. And they was talking. So again, in my opinion, as far as point guards, you gotta make the defense react. You're the guy coming up with the ball. So if the defense feel like they don't have to react to you, they're just gonna react to who you pass it to. I think that takes that's a weakness in a point guard, to keep it real with you. That's how I feel. You feel what I'm saying? The defense has to react to the point guard because the point guard has the ball most times. If you got a weak handle, they're going to half court press you when they want to. They're going to full court press you when they want to. So, first off, you got to have a handle so you can create space. And when you create space, then you can become dangerous. You feel what I'm saying? This is why, Utah, even though they never wanted, they never wanted to leave that Stockton Malone system because it was a system that worked. And when they looked at what's working and what's not working, they never looked at Stockton and Malone. They like, we not breaking this up. We don't care. You know what I'm saying?
The reason why they didn't win is because of Michael Jordan. I feel like in that era, when in those 2 years, if Michael Jordan wasn't playing basketball, they would have had 2 rings back to back. I honestly believe that. I think that team was really good. They played amazing defensively. Stockton and Malone was an unstoppable force. I just think that Chicago Bulls system and Michael Jordan was just unbeatable. There's no that's how I feel. I think they would like the Knicks and their height. You feel me? If it wasn't for the Chicago Bulls, Patrick Ewing absolutely would have a ring. Same thing with Charles Barkley when he was on Phoenix. If it wasn't for the Chicago Bulls, Charles Barkley would absolutely have a ring.
No, I'm glad you said that. I'm glad you said that.
When they make fun of all these guys and what worked and what didn't work, it worked. It worked. That was a championship ready team. It's Michael Jordan.
Right. No, to add to that, and I think that's part of the greatness of him being the best in the debated as the best. And even him said it's about errors. It's about errors. That's what Jordan said. His mouth. He said it's about errors. I got to respect the ones that came before me in their careers. So I never played them at their peak for me to say I'm the best. This and that. But I do think that when I think about great coaching, I think about more than managing personalities. You know what I'm saying? And I'm saying that to say, without Stockton and Malone, Jerry Sloan was there and he did well, remember, until Derek Williams messed that whole thing up. But case in point is great coaches are able to win even without star players. Like, I think that Coach Pop had a record. I always go about Coach Pop. He's one of my favorite coaches. Let me just say that. You know what I'm saying? His record of just making the playoffs is like, I think the best. Like they made the playoffs like 21 seasons in a row or something like that. And they just missed, you know what I'm saying? They just missed it. And I'm only saying that to say that's not the players sometimes, that's the system, you know what I mean? And I'm saying in that system, it's more than managing personalities. Maybe that was the energy prior, and part of, in my opinion, part of we should go in a new direction, because we haven't won that way. We're gonna need to put more emphasis on what Nash is obligated to do as a coach. Like, what's your mandatory thing? What are you doing? Like, how are you helping? Like, you got to be more than a friend. You know what I'm saying?
So to correlate what you said with my team as well, you feel me? Like, so I agree. You feel me? Even though I criticize Coach Tommy T, it's also is more than just managing personalities, and it's also the team has to believe in you. Like, everybody has to believe in you. And that's one thing I can say about Coach Tommy T, is that all the players say that everybody still believes in Coach Tommy T in the game plan and the system that Coach Tommy T is putting forward. They're all still very much invested. But you don't hear the same thing being said about, Steve Nash. You hear things like what KD is saying. The coach's job is to manage personalities, or you hear things like Kyrie was saying. Sometimes it's not like we have a coach. Me and KD,
it's not working for us.
You feel me? So my thing is, that's a big part of being a coach too, is the players walking in that building believing in who the coach is. Like, again, I was referencing the Bulls before. Michael Jordan was talking about he retired from basketball because they would not resign his head coach. You feel me? Like, you talking about you talking about that's the first time. I'm talking about his last step with the Bulls. It was because of Phil Jackson. You talk about arguably the greatest basketball talent of NBA history retired from basketball because he did not want to play for another head coach. That's how much he believed in Phil Jackson. That's great coaching too. That's believe me, that's also what made Tim Duncan successful as a Spur, because he 120% believed in Coach Pop, so much that even after retirement, he came back to work for the man. You feel me? That's part of successful coaching, and that's part of a successful franchise, is believing in the coach and the coaching system. And from the outside looking in, that's not happening with the Brooklyn Nets. From the inside looking out, that's what's happening with the Knicks. But the success, I believe, is going to come down the road with further development of the talent on the roster. You feel me? The fact that's a positive, that you hear all the players talk about how much they like playing for Coach Tommy T, and how much they still believe in the system, especially when it's being echoed from the star player and Julius Randle saying that he's continuously bought in, and he's still bought into the coaching system and the organization's a game plan. He's still 100% believing it. That's important, and that's the difference between the two teams. Even though the Nets made the playoffs, I think they're taking steps backwards because I don't hear those words being spoke from the players, especially a star player, saying that, we believe in Steve Nash as a head coach. That's our head coach. He's doing a great job. We believe in
KD said that.
Nah, he said the coaches, he believe in him because all he want him to do is manage personalities. He's not saying that he believes in the game plan. He's not saying that Steve Nash is making the right decisions. He's here to manage personalities. He's here to make sure that guys who's not getting PT are cool with not getting PT. He's here. That's pretty much what he's saying.
And then look, Blake Griffin was a professional. He was upset that he got took out the lineup. He was like, yeah, I know they did what they had to do. And then, people have their reservations. Stoudemire left because he said it didn't go with his beliefs, like if schedule-wise, and it kind of, that's part of the reason why he exited. But, in my opinion, and this ain't tea I heard from nowhere, so I ain't, starting rumors. But
said this.
Yeah, in my humble opinion, I think he knew that Day'Ron Sharpe should get minutes. Like, why you got me working with the power forwards? I mean, I imagine that's who he a player development coach. That's what he was doing with the Brooklyn Nets.
Centers and power forwards. Yeah, that's his.
Yeah, so like, you working with Drum. I could see that. I could see him working with Clax. I could see even working with Day'Ron Sharpe. Like, and we don't play them, like, again, Nash has to have more emphasis on what he's there to do besides manage personalities. That's not a job. Like, if if I was in the interview and I wanted to be a coach and they like, okay, what could you do to be a coach here? I can manage personalities. Like, let's keep it real. Nash, you're gonna be protected, and like I said, the best thing about your job is that you could get better tomorrow. You know what I'm saying? Everybody could get better tomorrow. And I think, just call Cam Thomas. Like, you go to the park with Cam Thomas. Chill with Cam Thomas. I seen you at the coffee shop with Patty Mills. Like, you play Patty Mills wild minutes. You ain't have to do him like that. You could have kept him fresh for the playoffs and let Cam Thomas get some of those minutes. You gave Dragic minutes over Cam Thomas and Kessler Edwards. Like, you gave James Johnson 10 shots in 1/2 one time. Like, Nash, you know what I'm saying? You a wild cowboy, man. You ain't gotta be doing like that. You gotta, you know what I'm saying, grab the bull by the horns, you know what I mean? And kind of like, put emphasis on that. They gotta get used to you. Get used to me. You know what I'm saying? I'm a Brooklyn coach. That's what you gotta tell them. You know what I'm saying? I'm a Brooklyn coach. Get used to me. Y'all talking about managing personalities. What about what I say? What about what I feel? You know what I mean? Make sure your coffee hot. You know what I'm saying? Make sure, you know what I mean, you get what you want out of this situation. And you didn't come here to lose. This an organization that don't have a championship. And if you can help us get one, help us. If you never had one as a player, and I'm putting emphasis on it because everybody talking nice. And I am being nice. I'm just being honest. Like, why would you come back if you don't want to win a championship? You knew what this was. And we all love you. I'm saying this out of love. You know what I mean? I hope you're not offended or nothing like that, but I got to keep it real with you, bro.
I got a question.
We hurt right now. We healing.
You mentioned Blake Griffin earlier and not getting PT, right? Blake Griffin is a free agent. So is LaMarcus Aldridge. So is Drummond. With those guys knowing that they're not being played, do you see them? Do you honestly see them coming back, knowing that they could be serviceable to contending teams?
To be honest, those three, I'm not sure. No, I'm not sure what they're going to do. I think they made Bruce Brown and Nick Claxton priority 1 and 2. Those 3 players specifically, your guess is good as mine.
So now, in your opinion, I'm not saying you know what they're going to do. What do you believe? You feel me? Like, how do you feel? Like, do you feel like Blake Griffin is going to come back to the Brooklyn Nets another season, knowing that he's probably not going to get PT? Do you think Drummond, when he's still relatively young, is going to come back to the Brooklyn Nets, knowing that he's not going to get PT? Do you think LaMarcus Aldridge, knowing that he could be serviceable to a contending team, that's probably going to give him some PT? Do you believe these guys are going to re-sign, in your honest opinion? Like, nobody knows what anybody's going to do.
I think Blake still want to play. Still got some in the tank. He'll go to a contending team. I think Blake is like that. Like, I'm going to play. And it's because, again, this is what I'll be saying about Nash as far as managing personalities. How do you expect his energy, his attitude to be when you know Blake Griffin was one of the most essential defenders that we had in the Milwaukee Bucks series, even though we lost that series in 7. But he gave us valuable minutes. For you not to play him versus Boston, it's kind of, if you managing my personality, how you expect me to feel about that?
Yeah.
I think Blake will walk because of it, because he deserves minutes in the playoffs. If anybody, shout out to LaMarcus Aldridge. He wasn't there last season, and we know why. But I think he retires. I think he's like, this was it. I wanted to make 20,000 points. I got my 20,000 points. As much as I want a championship, I'll be around my family. This was the year for me to do it. I didn't do it. I don't think he goes to another contending team. I don't think he plays. I think he retires. And Drum trying to get paid. He still feel like he got signed in the tank, got signed in the pool. And we can't rely on him staying with the Brooklyn Nets. I think he walks if he has to. He's chasing the bag. And, the Nets right now, they made their priorities clear, so he know he's not going to get it here. So if he could get the bag before signing with a vet minimum or something like that, yeah, he's on the first thing smoking. You know what I'm saying? So I hope I answered your question.
Yeah, you did. I think Drum, I think he knows that he's not going to get the bag. you know, his last few years haven't been productive.
He'll get more than what the Nets will give him, though.
Yeah, because y'all can't afford to pay anybody anything.
We can afford to pay Bruce Brown.
Especially if y'all decide to keep Kyrie or extend Kyrie, it's clip for y'all.
Nah, I think they spoke on that. They haven't reached an agreement. Kyrie and Sean Marks spoke to that. They haven't even spoke on a matter yet. So I doubt it's a max contract for one.
And Ben Simmons' contract got y'all up there, even if y'all don't keep Kyrie. You feel me? Ben Simmons' contract is all the way up there. So
Sean Marks said that too. He said, in a nutshell, you know, because you got to remember the whole significance of Ben Simmons being here is helping us compete this season. Well, I'm off season reason because we're not in the playoffs, and he didn't. You know what I mean? And I'm only saying that to say everybody was kind of hyped that Harden, and that's how the whole conversation of who won the trade happened. Because Philly went to the second round and we got swept, and we don't feel like we would have got swept if Ben Simmons was playing. And I think a lot of fans, just the land is playing. They were happy that he got the surgery immediate in the off season because it's like, all right, he didn't play because he was hurt, not because he didn't want to represent Brooklyn.
So I was making all that point just to say that, you know, Andre, like, we know you can't pay Drum. You feel me? Because your salary cap situation is clipped. You feel me? So he's gonna get some bread, but it's not like it's gonna get a lot of bread. So it also really does come down to, do he believe he's gonna win and get PT with y'all, or does he feel like he can get PT and win somewhere else? Because again, a lot of guys could use a 10 rebound guy. 10 rebound per game guy. That's what Drum is. You feel me? He's a rim runner and a 10 rebound per game guy. There's a lot of, he's not really a rim protector like that, but he's not trash on the defensive end. You feel me? So there's a lot of teams that could use that guy, and a lot of teams that are potentially looking at contending. I think the Chicago Bulls could use Andre Drummond. You feel me? I feel like
with Vucevic being the biggest guy, they got washed like that. What was they in the playoff? They got swept? No. We don't got swept. It was like 4-1. So
I think you know, the Charlotte Hornets could use Andre Drummond.
That's a fact.
It's teams like that, you know, that even though Charlotte to me is not a contender yet, but they a fringe team. Like, I think they'll be better next year than they were this year.
They was right there, man.
This team like that, I think if Boston don't make it this year, I think they could use an Andre Drummond, like a guy that, because they play they do play up tempo, but they play a lot of half court offense too because of their defense is so good. You feel me? And they like the rebound. They have a lot of size and length. You feel me? So he fits kind of into that system as well, because that's pretty much what Williams is. Robert Williams is too. So he could be a backup to him. You know, who else? There's a few teams that can use a Drummond.
Yeah, but to also answer your question,
same thing with Blake Griffin too. I'm done.
Yeah, no, Blake, I definitely think he goes to a contender. He really want to win it. Drum too, he'll go to a contender too. So I don't think there's no loyalty there to answer your question. Kyrie Irving, Sean Marks, and Kyrie Irving, they both mutually respect each other, but they both know that, you know, regardless of the excuse, this is a team that wants to win an organization. I mean, wants to win a championship. There's no ifs, ands, and buts about that. And if Kyrie is the guy that's here, so, you know, typically Sean Marks will want that to work. You will want 7-Eleven to work. It'll keep KD happy. And again, you know, KD at this point in his career, he does want to have a say on who his teammates is, and I respect it. And sometimes we can't keep him. I'm pretty sure he wanted to keep Shamet. You know, Shamet would have been good for the Brooklyn Nets in this last season, but we couldn't pay Shamet. You know, Phoenix was willing to pay him, and we lost him because we couldn't pay him. And I think that might be the same case with Nick Claxton. Nick Claxton, he might walk because we can't pay him. I think I think Bruce Brown is number one, then Nick Claxton number two, but Kyrie Irving, a wise man wouldn't go for more than two. You'll talk that I think that he can negotiate 3 years, but you ain't getting past 3. You know what I'm saying? 2-3 years at max.
You know, it's funny hearing you talk about guys who's not going to be able to resign because y'all won't be able to pay them. This is exactly what I told you was going to happen with your salary. This is why all the times that you sat next to me.
He's supposed to win.
all the times you sat next to me at Reflex Radio. And I was you. Why are you always talking about salary cap? Why are you always talking about salary cap? This is why.
No, but again, the same players that we talking about for our salary cap, they came back the next season. I knew their contract, so that's why I wasn't sweating it, because it's like
I was talking about when they were going to be free agents, because I
was
but
you were saying it in the respect that we're going to lose. I didn't want to think about us losing and then what will happen. I was thinking about us winning and what will happen.
I'm saying I knew that this was going to happen, because even when y'all had James Harden, I was like, yo, James Harden, Kyrie Irving, and KD put y'all $40 million over the salary cap. Y'all traded James Harden.
Oh man!
And y'all got Ben Simmons. I think Ben Simmons probably he makes more than James Harden, if I'm not mistaken. So y'all still
you seen Pat Bev cooking for Harden, talking about Harden is a 22 and 11 player. He should get X amount of money, max money. And Redick is like, why would you say that? Like, and then after that they was speaking on Stephen A. Smith show later in that day, and Redick was like, y'all already had him. And I'm saying Pat Beverly's like, you already had what are you talking about? And I'm saying basically Redick was basically saying you ain't making a point that Harden deserved max. Now, me personally, I feel jaded, you know what I mean? He again, player for player, role for role, he can't do what Jarrett Allen's supposed to do. And no disrespect, and again, I don't want to be, how you say, putting salt on the wound, but out of that core four, we needed to keep Jarrett Allen for us to be a winning ball club. Shout to Dinwiddie. Dinwiddie is playing with Dallas, and he's a number 2 guy behind Doncic. And the truth is that Dinwiddie was a number 1 guy with us. We seen Dinwiddie number 1, and I'm only saying that to say Sean Marks did some right things with the culture when he first got here. And that first time the salary cap was big for us to, you know what I'm saying, where we could afford these big players. We went after them and became a championship team over the summer and overnight. You know what I'm saying? It feel like trading Jarrett was the last. That's when it all went downhill from there. You know what I mean?
I want to make a correction on something I just said. I'm sorry. Ben Simmons do not make more than James Harden. James Harden make like 40-something million. Ben Simmons is at 30.
That's still a lot for him not to play. But realistically, I don't want to be mad at somebody that needed the surgery. And again, remember, I had that back injury, and I know what it's like, man. Not like the same. I ain't playing 82 games out of the year, you know what I'm saying? But but trust me, if right in the off season, seeing that brought me some relief. Like, all right, maybe he got some heart. You know what I'm saying? You know what I mean? And I want to see him with heart. I want to see him with courage. I want to see him play with passion. And that's what we had. The culture was before we traded it away. Emphasis on can't trade away better your core for no matter how good the next player is. Bruce Brown production was slowed down by us giving Bembry his playing time when we made that acquisition early in the season. Bembry was a starter and Bruce Brown was coming off the bench. What? Bruce Brown did way too much in the season prior for him to be benched behind Bembry. I
know why that happened, because Bruce Brown started the season. Bembry, he got hurt, and that's when they started giving Bembry the PT, and Bembry was balling. You feel me?
Yeah, he was balling, but he played both of them at the same time.
Yeah, I agree. Bembry was balling, and they were winning. So that's why Bembry was getting the PT. And I think it was a big mistake cutting Bembry. I think I absolutely could have used Bembry and his energy in the Boston series. You feel me?
It was a mistake. It was definitely a mistake. I mean, we would have had Bembry instead of Dragic.
And he definitely could have helped defend Tatum and Jaylen Brown. Definitely could have helped. Not saying he would have stopped Jason Tatum, because Jason Tatum's a bad man.
No, but definitely, definitely. I agree. Shout out to Barry, because Barry was saying that we need wings, and that was a wing we should have kept. You know what I mean?
I said that as soon as y'all cut him, I said, "Oh, that's a mistake."
Yeah, that was a problem, because I'm saying, if you're gonna cut him, why you ain't cut James Johnson? I was always using James Johnson, but he do his thing, but Nah, I thought he was expendable. You know what I'm saying? I think.
And I told you James Johnson was never like that, bro.
Nah, he was high, but I think this is the whole manage the personalities. Like you manage the shot attempts. You know, you tell him like, yo, don't take that many 3-pointers ever in one game. What? Nah.
You're open for a reason, son.
Yeah, they leaving you open. It's not like you designed that way. Trust me, they know what they're doing. You know what I mean? And that's the thing about being out coached. If you're only going to manage personalities, all you're going to say is good job or not. You know what I mean? Oh, you could have did better. We'll get them again next time. You know, you want to keep these guys on the up and up. You want to, you know, I seen he called timeout. He was cursing. I'm pretty sure when those guys came from, that was a long walk from you know, when it was going to commercial. You know what I'm saying? They was getting barked on. You know what I'm saying? You know how nah, it wasn't none of that for the players. He was barking on them players. You know what I'm saying? And I'm saying that to say, Nash, you got to do that. Forget the fact that KD is one of the greatest players. He's still a player. And if y'all committed to winning, I'm pretty sure you could talk tough with him.
Yo, talk about your sound is wacky, bro. Your sound just it sounds wacky. To correlate to what Big Fat Breeze was saying, you know, some of the rookies asked Derrick Rose, what do you do like when you make a mistake and you know Coach Tommy T is looking at you? Derrick Rose's reply was, don't look at the bench. I said, to correlate to what you were saying, you know, about, you know, coaches holding guys accountable. Some of the younger players asked Derrick Rose, like, what do you do when you make a mistake? Derrick Rose told him, don't look at the bench. You feel me? Don't look at the bench, because you know coach ain't happy. You feel me? So just don't look at the bench. But, you know, Coach Tommy T is quick to call a timeout and yell at somebody. You feel me? And, you know, there's a lot of criticism on how quick he was pulling Obi Toppin out of games. I agree. Sometimes the leash was a little bit too short, but it's also building accountability, knowing that, yo, you're not just going to be out there doing whatever you feel like doing and think it's okay. You feel me? Like,
sometimes you got to let them play through it, though.
And I get where you could go like, yo, but this guy earned the lead way that we give him. Like, Alec Burke is a 10-year veteran. He earned that. You don't have that same status as him as far as tenure in the NBA where I could give you that lead way. Like, I know Alec Burke is going to mess up and come down the court and make a good play. You feel? I know that. I believe that Evan Fournier going to turn the ball over but come down the court and hit a clutch three-pointer because his resume speaks to that. You feel me? Like, so it's accountability. You feel me? Like, and even Evan got benched a few times for stinking up the joint. Same thing with Julius Randle, got benched in the fourth quarter a few times for stinking up the joint. Nobody was above reproach this season and being held accountable. But you can't. The whole team was playing bad. You can't bench the whole entire team. You feel me? Somebody got to be on the court. But there was times that everybody was held accountable. And to speak to your point that it can't just be, you know, good job all the time. Nah, it's not. Coach Tommy T ain't like that. You mess up, you gonna hear about it. RJ Barrett, I seen RJ Barrett get yelled at. I seen everybody on that team get yelled at and held accountable. And Steve Nash ain't that guy. He gonna clap it. You gonna make a mistake, he gonna clap it up, he gonna pat you on the ass, tell you, come on, guys, hold your chin up, let's go. We'll get them next time.
Right. So respectfully, you know, you gotta go with what works. You know, everybody gave Budenhauser, what's his name, for the coach for the Bucks?
Yeah.
Right hand.
Whatever.
Yeah. They say he was a bad coach. They won a championship.
I was saying that.
Right. You back off like, oh, okay, well, you know.
In the series against y'all, I just thought I didn't see too many adjustments being made against Kevin Durant, especially when, you know, he was giving y'all, he was giving them 50 every night. He was giving the Bucks 50 almost every game. I'm like, bruh. And it's not like they were blowing these guys out and Kevin Durant is getting 50. Like, these were close games. And Kevin Durant, you got to stop him from getting 50. I'm not saying that you got to lock him down and have him under 30 points. I'm just saying you can't have him go for 50, and there was no adjustments made for that, and that's why I was like,
it was an adjustment. The adjustment was they was going to wear him down. You know, they're going to make them work. They can only run their offense through KD because Kyrie was hurt. Remember? So case in point is like that's why Joe Harris was cold. We wasn't setting up no plays for Joe Harris, and again, he was our number 2 guy. You know, Joe Harris never signed up to be the number 2 guy, and in that series, he became the number 2 guy because Kyrie got hurt, and you know. We changed that. We said, all right, well, we can't have Joe Harris, the number 2 guy, going into the next season. And we see that we implemented more defense more than offense. And we still was trying to make Joe Harris important, you know, get him in the first quarter. He's the one getting the most shot attempts, even more than KD. It's like we feel KD, he could easily work his way inside of the offense. And he even said in a post-game interview, because he kind of took a Jokic route, you know, where he's been a facilitator as well, especially in the latter part of the season. I remember discussing this with you. And I was like, yo, he averaged like 5 assists a game or more. You know, this is one of the highest assist seasons he's had in his career. And I'm only saying that to say that you got to know your role. And we know that Joe Harris is not our 2 guy. You know, he's not. You know what I mean? Him and Steph Curry on the same team, dangerous for any other opponent. You know what I'm saying? Like if we got somebody that could pair him up and he just feels, I guess, in my opinion, more confident, like pressure wise. You know what I mean? I don't think Joey does well under pressure. And I think
offensively next season, y'all gonna be dangerous with Joe Harris, Seth, and Patty. If Patty's signed for 2 years, right? Yeah. Joe Harris, Seth, and
Joey.
But as tough as y'all gonna be offensively, those all 3 defensive liabilities right there.
Yeah.
You feel me? So again, like Bruce Brown can't guard everybody. And
Bruce Brown, Kessler Edwards, Nick Claxton. Yeah, those are our best defenders.
But at the same time, your best shooters are none of those guys. You feel me? And what you're going to need for KD and Kyrie, so they won't be getting double teamed and things like Boston did, because this is an imitation league. The whole NBA watched how Boston defended KD and Kyrie. Remember. So they and I say that to say because look how the NBA started defending Julius Randle after the postseason. The whole NBA took Atlanta's defensive scheme against Julius Randle.
Yeah.
And so in order for that to happen, you're gonna need, you know, Joe Harris, Seth, and Patty to be on the court. But at the same time, that's gonna work at your detriment because those guys can't stop shit. So it's a double-edged sword for y'all. Do you space the floor for KD and Kyrie, or do you put some defenders on the court to help stop scoring of the other team?
Yeah, I think that's debatable. When you look at the increase in shooting percentage for Bruce Brown, it's impactful. I remember us going back and forth dialogue as far as the 3-point shot in the corner and what it meant for Evan Fournier. His best 3-point shot was from the corner. Same as Bruce Brown. His percentage for his 3-point shot in the corner, like he's not that good at the elbow. He's not the straight on 3 guy. But if you breaking down the defense, somebody like KD gets double and you throw it to him in the corner, he's going to knock that down. His percentage was up there shy of 50 or a little above 50%. So it's fair to say that, again, he's another player that is part of the culture, part of the core of what we're building in Brooklyn, because we've seen him develop. The significance of me saying we should have kept Jared over Joe Harris is that Jared was a rookie with the Brooklyn Nets and Joe Harris played 2 years in Cleveland. The draft class that we get, the players that we pick, build around them. Build around Cam Thomas. He got a career. If he goes somewhere, I'm going to cry. If he goes somewhere otherwise besides the Brooklyn Nets and become this player that I know he is, we're going to look back and be upset about it. They got a documentary coming out about the Brooklyn Nets. You know what I'm saying? Like, so I don't want
what you're saying. Again, bring it to the coach that you like to talk about a lot. You talk about having Cam Thomas in a David Robinson, Tim Duncan kind of situation where David Robinson was at the end of his career. Tim Duncan gets drafted, and the torch was passed from David Robinson to Tim Duncan. So you feel that Cam Thomas is that guy like that KD could pass the torch to Cam Thomas.
Yeah.
I disagree, but I hear what you're saying.
Yeah. I think that, let me say this last thing. The Nets, culture-wise, we don't have that. I don't know that we have a player that stayed and retired. It would have been nice to see Brook Lopez do it. You know, he's still a great player right now, but he didn't stay. And I'm saying that to say we don't do good with our draft picks. You know, we trade a lot of talent away, and even when we get the talent, we trade them away. It'd be nice for once to get a Cam Thomas and see him play his whole career here, you know? I mean, you know, that's what I want to see.
It's funny because you always talk about how we did Patrick Ewing, but you never want to talk about how y'all did Jason Kidd, how y'all traded him as a coach. You know how rare it is a coach get traded? And y'all traded a man that took y'all to y'all only 2 NBA finals, traded him as a coach? The disrespect. And then it's not like he was coaching bad. He was doing pretty good. They was raving about how good Jason Kidd was as a coach, especially in a situation that he was in the same situation that Steve Nash was in with less talent and was taking and had y'all in the playoffs. You feel me? And y'all the disrespect, the dishonor y'all brought amongst the organization of the Brooklyn Nets by trading Jason Kidd as a coach. It's rare. It doesn't even happen like that, bro. Y'all traded him to the Bucks, and I'm happy that the Bucks beat y'all last year because that's redemption. They did that, and you know Jason Kidd is and Giannis is close. Giannis was going to the front office when they was about to fire Jason Kidd and complaining, Raven making a stink, and Jason Kidd had to tell him, "No, chill, bro." Giannis did that for Jason Kidd in his honor, sent y'all home in the Barclays. Because y'all brought so much dishonor to one of the greatest Nets that ever played. Took y'all to y'all only 2 NBA finals. Y'all Eastern Conference banners is hanging in the rafters because of Jason Kidd. Y'all traded him as a coach. Disrespectful. Disrespectful.
Yeah. Now, I don't agree with that. Shout out to Jason Kidd. He's got his flowers from Steve Kerr. Steve Kerr said he's one of the only players that was a great player that transitioned into a great coach. So everybody is acknowledging Jason Kidd. I'll even acknowledge Jason Kidd on behalf of the Brooklyn Nets in trading him away. You know what I'm saying? And, you know, you look at him in the finals right now, and then I feel like we're not in the finals because of our coach. So it's like I don't know.
I gave him a team of washed up veterans, guys that were retired 2 years after playing for the Brooklyn Nets, and he had y'all in the playoffs. Took y'all to the second round with the washed up old Kevin Garnett, Paul Pierce, washed up. And y'all traded him as a coach.
So again, how much do you contribute to coaching as far as winning basketball? I said 30%, but I'm thinking 50% at this point.
Yo, I listen. Kev on the line. Hold on.
I gotta say 50%.
Kev on the line. Kev, who run the city, Kev?
You know the Knicks run the city, and I was bro. I was gonna let you ride, but I don't know because the shit that you talking right now is amazing.
I gotta let him know, Kev. You gotta let him know, Kev.
What did he say?
He always talk about the dishonor that we brought Patrick Ewing. What about Jason Kidd?
What about Jason Kidd? What about Kenny Anderson? What about Kenyon Martin?
Dishonor to all of them.
Yes, sir.
Dishonor.
I apologize to Jason Kidd, man.
What are we talking about here?
Dishonor.
I apologize on the behalf of the Brooklyn Nets.
You already know, Kev. I'm doing this and this after this, bro. Pull up. All right. Later.
I can't really hear. Yeah.
Shout out to my guy Kev. You feel me? That's Team Nixon-ish right there. He was saying I was talking great shit. You feel me? He named a couple other players that the Nets brought dishonor to. You feel me? But you always talk about, oh, y'all did it's the Patrick Ewing curse. Y'all got the Jason Kidd curse.
Nah, it's true.
And because of that, now y'all got to deal with Steve Nash. That's y'all karma. Steve Nash is y'all karma. Y'all got 2 Hall of Fame talents and one of the trashiest coaches in the NBA. Deal with it. Jason Kidd is in the the Western Conference Finals. Just beat the #1 seed in the West. Dishonor.
No, I respect it. I respect it. Again, like I said, as a vlogger, I pay attention to coaching because watching these games that we were losing, I feel like we were losing because of bad coaching. Like why he didn't call that timeout, why he ain't put that play in the game, why he didn't call that challenge, why he ain't mad right now. I'm keep looking at the game in the coaching perspective, and I think it's 50% of the winning, bro. I put half on the coach, half on the players. Regardless of how much talent you got, if you ask him to be the coach in the, I don't know, general sense, and he's the title of the coach, and he's just managing personalities, but in the actual action of coaching, it's on the players. Nah, that narrative has to change for us to be a winning ball club. And shout to Marlon. I don't know what he's talking about. You know what I mean? He said, "Don't apologize, bro. You was repping the Knicks. That's crazy." I was never repping the Knicks.
Yeah, you still believe.
And Kev said that. Kev said he seen me in spaces. I do be in spaces. I'll be going and I'll be in Knicks space. I'll be in all spaces. That's how I met the guy in the first place, or the kid guy in the first place. But I said that to say, I'll be wanting to know perspectives and coaching. And shout to Rel, because Rel is the one he's talking about. He does a show like every day on Twitter. His show is fire. That being said, again, if that is our karma of having Nash our coach because we did kid like that, then it is what it is. And I listen, I gotta deal with that as a fan. But going forward, Nash, you could break that. You could actually just put your best foot forward and say, I'm going to drive this thing. You know what I mean? I asked for the keys. I'm going to drive this thing. Don't be the reason. Don't be the coach that got the best talent, but, the GM and the best player protecting you, but secretly you know that you can do more. I'm saying, Nash, as far as winning is concerned, you can do more. And it'd be nice to see you do more. You know what I mean? We'll appreciate that as fans. You know what I'm saying?
And one more dagger I want to put in that statement is the fact that, y'all traded. Oh, this is why it's poetic. You feel me? This is why everything is full circle. You feel me? Y'all traded Jason Kidd to the Bucks. And Jason Kidd is one of the main reasons why Giannis is a monster today. And Giannis kicked you out of the playoffs last year. It's poetic. It's poetic justice. Because before Jason Kidd got there, Giannis was very underwhelming. Very underwhelming as an NBA basketball talent. Then Jason Kidd get there and he coached him and Middleton up. And those guys got y'all out of there. Poetic. It's poetry. It's poetry. Revenge for Jason Kidd. That's what that series should have been called. They should have wore shirts coming out the locker room said, "This is for J Kidd." Y'all did my job greasy.
Like growing up, I just thought Jordan was the greatest. I didn't know the significance that Phil Jackson had on winning, and coaching and what it had on winning. I remember even Pat Riley being heralded as this great coach. And, again, as a fan growing up, I just see the players on the court. I didn't really get what coaches do. But as a vlogger, yeah, I do, bro. Coaches are vital, you know.
Especially when you see a coach win championships with different organizations.
Yeah, and to add to that, a lot of coaches come from the defensive coordinator background, and that's through sports. You understand what I'm saying? Tommy T got a defensive coordinator background. Ime Udoka got a defensive coordinator background. And I'm pretty sure there's a handful of other coaches that I'm not mentioning, right, that have a defensive coordinator background. And defense win championships. So defense has always been the backbone to winning. And, you know, maybe Golden State changed that because Clay and Steph are so much of good shooters that, you know, after they hit the scene the way they did, the team started wanting to become,
Golden State was one of the top defensive teams in the NBA this season.
Yeah. No, I'm just
and Klay Thompson is a two-way player.
Right. But again, feeding into the, you know, defense is the backbone of winning championships. And, you know, I'm saying that to say with Steph and Clay, again, it's coaching. Then it just brings me back to Mark Jackson, you know what I'm saying? And, you know, maybe he brung that rough style of defense. You know, he played in the East Coast with the Knicks, and he played with the Pacers. You know what I'm saying? And I feel like the East is more physical than the West. You know what I mean? And when you got East Coast coaches that go to they played on the East Coast with that tough mentality, that physical mentality, and they become coaches on the West. They look like they're successful.
So and that correlates with what we was talking about earlier. You know, you put the talent on the team that meshes well, and the team needs. You feel me? We all know Steph Curry is a bucket, but he's a defensive liability. But you got Draymond Green, which he's a good defensive player. Klay Thompson is a two-way player. He's a 3-and-D guy. You feel me? Like, you got, then when the championship run, you had Andre Iguodala, a great defender. Now you got Gary Payton the third, or whatever his number is.
Gary Payton second,
Yeah. He's a great defensive player. You feel me? Like, you put the players around, it's the team needs. You feel me? Like, again, even though you can even go back to Michael Jordan, you feel me? Michael Jordan was a two-way player, but you get somebody to take that defensive responsibility off of Michael Jordan and Scottie Pippen that could guard all the wing positions. You feel me? You got Ron Harper, great defender in his own right that could guard. You feel me? So you can have your talent do what they do. Is the way it all about meshing the team together. You feel me? Part of the reason why Randle had a great season last year, because the team defense was great. You feel me? He didn't have – you had – Julius Randle played decent defense himself last year, but he didn't have to really worry about playing defense like that because the team defense was great. All he had to worry about doing was scoring the rock. You feel me? And that's what it's about, building a team. The team can't just be about having a whole bunch of scorers and nobody to defend. If you look at Phoenix too, the Bridges kid, great defender. You feel me?
He don't miss a game, bro.
Yeah. And Devin Booker is not a good defender like that. Then you got Ayton. He was playing good defense for most of the season. He disappeared in this playoff series, but he was playing good. Like, that's how and they were one of the number one defensive teams in the NBA this year. You feel me? It's because of the players you decide to put around your star. You feel me? And that's how you build the team. You feel me? Your star player can't also be your best defender. It just doesn't work that way. It's too much energy being expended, because even though Jason Tatum played great defense on KD against y'all series, he wasn't the best defender on the team. That's Marcus Smart.
Right, I want to add to that. Yeah. I want to speak to that. Doncic is the star. Jason Kidd is the coach. You understand what I'm saying? You know, Michael Jordan is the star. Phil Jackson is the coach. That's an understanding. It's not just about Michael. It's not just about Phil Jackson managing Michael Jordan personalities. The whole triangle system was to suit Jordan. You know, he developed that triangle system so that way it would make Jordan the most effective and impactful player that he can be. For him to be the best that he can be, they made the offense around him. We're not doing that with KD. We're just calling ISO. It's a difference. ISO is a different offense from the triangle. You feel what I'm saying? Those are two different offenses. So far as implementing an offensive style of basketball, again, in the Ime Udoka, where they think defense first, in the defensive style of basketball, you have to first identify, Nash, what side of the ball you on. Are you on the offensive side of the ball? Then draw up some plays. If you're on the defensive side of the ball, then show me traps. Show me half-court press. Show me three-quarter press. Show me a zone for one half, and then show me man-to-man for another half. Switch it up. Show me what you do, but don't tell me as a fan the only thing you there for is, and he get paid. He's one of the top 10 paid coaches in the league. So don't tell me he's there getting all that bread and I ain't watching your pockets. I'm saying they gotta be paying you for more than managing a personality, bro.
Yo,
they gotta be paying you for more than that.
So to add what you were saying about the triangle, you feel me? And the triangle, it was brought for Jordan because it alleviated Jordan for having to do all of the scoring. You feel me? Before the triangle, Michael Jordan was averaging like 35 points a game every season. It dropped down to 30, but he didn't have to do all of the scoring. It was made for ball movement. That's what the triangle is for. Triangles for ball movement and floor balance. You feel me? The ISO does nothing for none of that. You feel me? You shove everybody on one side of the court in the ISO and you let your star go to work. It does nothing for ball movement and it does nothing to get other guys easy baskets. You feel me? And when you don't have a team full of stars, the other guys need easy baskets. And ISO don't really do that for them. Of course, you get the occasional wide open three because of the double team comes, but it doesn't do anything to make easy scoring opportunities. And that's a lot of what was wrong with the Knicks this year too. It was because we didn't have a real point guard. It was a lot of ISO basketball. A lot of Julius Randle standing around dribbling the ball. A lot of RJ Barrett standing around dribbling the ball. A lot of Evans standing around dribbling the ball. And that was mostly and Alec Burke. And that's mostly because none of these guys are true point guards. You feel me? Nobody that can facilitate the rock. That's why, the season before, Derrick Rose was such a crucial part, is because he perpetuates ball movement. You feel me? And helping guys get easy baskets. That's why we started seeing an uprise in Obi's play when Derrick Rose was on the court last season, because he predicates ball movement, and easy buckets is something that a player like Obi Toppin needs. You need a guy that can hit him cut into the basket so he can use his athleticism and things of that nature. You need guys like that make the game easier for RJ. Even though RJ could create for himself, you don't want him to create for himself. Same thing with Julius Randle. Julius Randle's at his best when he's getting a ball going downhill and making quick decisions, and that only happens when there's ball movement. You feel me? It only that and Kyrie, as great as he is, he's not a great passer. You feel me? He's not a great facilitator of the basketball. He's an absolute spectacle to watch when he's dribbling and doing all the fly shit. But as far as a facilitator and perpetuating ball movement, that's not Kyrie Irving. You feel me? Kyrie can pass, yes, but is that the strongest part of his game? Is that what he's looking to do on a nightly basis? No. That's why he was so willing to give the keys to the point guard position to James Harden, because James Harden is a better passer than Kyrie Irving. You feel me?
But I respect the role thing. I respect I know what I'm here to do. I respect that more than, let me force myself to do this even though I'm not comfortable.
You're right. I'm not saying that. What I'm saying is your team and the coaching strategy is not built for ball movement. You feel me? Even though KD has gotten better at passing the ball, he had to be because it was needed. Because now you got Gordon Dragic, who is a better passer, but he's over the hill. You feel me? He's over the hill. He's not going to give you that consistent minutes that you need from a point guard that's going to perpetuate moving the basketball.
But that's why
Patty Mills has never been a passing point guard. You feel me? He's give me the ball. I'm gonna make these wide open shots. You feel me?
But that's what I'm saying. We don't need everybody to facilitate. We need more Bruce Brown players. Like, of course, it's easy to say that, but the truth is the significance of Bruce Brown is that he moved without the ball. He's not waiting at the top of the 3-point lines like, all right, pass me the ball and I'll work from here. While you at the 3, he's setting picks. He's moving around. He's doing a lot. You know what I'm saying? To get open, and that's why he'll find that space right there in between the key and the free throw line. He'll have that space between the key and the paint because that's where he'll get open, and he only knew to do that by moving around. Like, you can't just be stagnant and just stay there and just say, okay, I'm not going to set no picks. I'm not going to do nothing but watch my guys score the basket, hopefully. How about you set the pick, get them open for the look? You know what I mean? The best pick and roll situation we got on the low is Seth Curry and Nick Claxton, because Nick Claxton gonna roll to the basket, and after he dunked on LeBron head top, he been wild confident. He been playing great ever since. And with Seth Curry coming in there, the difference is that Seth Curry could do the pick and roll, but Joe Harris can't. You understand what I'm saying? So we won't put Joe Harris in a situation with a pick and roll situation with Nick Claxton, but we'll do it with Seth Curry because Seth Curry got better handles than Joe Harris. And I'm only saying that to say that this is where the ball movement comes in, where you got players that complement each other like a Payton and Kemp. I ain't saying Curry and Claxton's Payton and Kemp, but you know what I'm saying? It was nice to see, you know, when we
again, and even though you saying you need more Bruce Brown players, but what I'm saying is all that moving is fine and dandy, but if you don't have a player that can pass and get him the ball, is useless. And I'm saying this because I watched the same thing happen to Obi most of the season. Obi liked to cut to the basket, but we didn't have the proper talent to get him the rock most of the time. The only time he was being productive is when Quick was on the floor, because Quick was looking for him. You feel me? You need, and what I'm saying is, as the team, like at this stage in Kyrie Irving's career, he's more better suited as a 2 than he is as a point guard. You feel me? You put him at the 2, you get a point guard that is a more of a facilitator than a scorer, because you don't ever need a scorer point guard with KD and Kyrie on your team. You don't need
That's
it.
a fact.
You need somebody who's going a floor general. You feel me? Somebody, if y'all would have got Dragic while he was younger, he would have been perfect. You feel me?
Yeah.
If y'all would have got your hands on Kyle Lowry, even at this stage of his career, perfect. Because Kyle Lowry is a game manager at this point in his career. He can hit the occasional big shot, but what he's going to do is manage the game. He's not going to play. He's not going to play you out of a game. He's going to play tough defense. He's going to pass the rock. And that's what y'all need. Kyrie need to go to the 2. Y'all need to get y'all game managing point guard that can play sufficient defense. And that's going to do wonders for y'all team. But
that's supposed to be Ben Simmons. So hopefully Nash realized that Ben Simmons is a better point guard for the Brooklyn Nets, not a center.
Yeah, but it sounds like y'all be trying to play him at the 5. And I remember distinctly a video seeing Ben Simmons said it's clipped for that. What they want me to do, play center? No, I'm a point guard.
But that's how we need to utilize him. And again, if you put him next to KD, I could see why we would want him, especially healthy. But Ben Simmons, like you say, he would be a good acquisition, but I always question whether he wanted to compete. And after that surgery, I feel like this is a turning a new leaf for him.
That don't sound like greatness to me. You feel me? Because
he gotta prove
it. Don't sound like greatness to me. When you hear a player like Ben Simmons saying what they want me to do, play center, I'm a point guard. Magic Johnson was a point guard, but guess what? They needed him to play center in Game 5. What he did, he played center. He played the 5. You feel me? Of Game 7 of the NBA Finals, because that's greatness. He took that role. He asked for that role. I don't know if you saw Winning Time. You feel me? The joint on HBO Max.
I didn't see it yet. Nah.
Fire. You feel me? And you see it even in there. Magic Johnson asked to play the 5 when Kareem Abdul-Jabbar went down. He asked for that. You feel me? Same thing, even though LeBron get a lot of hate, it was times that we saw LeBron play the 5 because he asked for that responsibility, is because what the team needed. To hear Ben Simmons to say what they want me to do, play center, I'm a point guard. That's not a guy I want on my team, bro. If the team is saying that we need you to do this, you need to do it. Like, look, Alec Burks is not a point guard. You can even see in his interviews, he's not even really comfortable. He wanting to play point guard, but he says, if that's what the team need me to do, that's what I'm going to do. You feel me? And those are the kind of guys you want on a team. And because Ben Simmons at the 5 ain't the worst thing, there's not a center on, even in small ball basketball, that could keep up with Ben Simmons defensively. He'll run even small ball 5s out of the gym. You feel me?
So like I do, but I just don't want to see.
And it's not like he's at a disadvantage defensively because he's a great defender.
So but at the same time, listen. That being said, to add to your point, I'm not deflecting. Coming off a back injury, you don't want him playing center for the simple fact you're gonna have big guys backing him down. That's a lot.
Small ball lineups. I'm not talking about him playing center against prototypical 5.
No, but what I'm saying is that's how we could get. Yeah,
I'm talking about if they put him against teams that like to play small ball, like the Hornets. He's not playing a prototypical 5. Most of the time, he's gonna be taller than Ben Simmons, like what 6'10" or some shit like that. Like he's gonna be taller than most small ball 5s.
I still want to see Day'Ron at 5, and we got options. We got Day'Ron Sharpe. He can't alternate. He can't play the 1. So keep Ben Simmons at 1 and put Day'Ron Sharpe at 5. And with that 23rd pick, if we keep it, we decide by June 1st if we keep the 23rd pick that we got from the Philadelphia 76ers. No, go after Christian Koloko, go after one of these big centers, and let them, give them minutes. Let them play on the team and give them minutes. We did good with the 20s. We got Jared Allen at 22. We got Cam Thomas at 27. We got Day'Ron Sharpe at 29. We do good drafting players in the 20s. So please, for the love of Brooklyn Nets basketball, let's get some guys with, you know what I mean, that can complement KD in the paint and on defense and rebounds. We don't need guys to complement him with scoring. He got that. Just complement with rebounds and defense, and we can run it from there. Because more of this talk is, you know what I'm saying, just about running the league. You know what I mean, building a culture. You know what I'm saying, and I think we are going in that direction, but we've been halted, and I think the only way we could work it out is staying true to the culture. Don't go away from it this time. We went away from it, trading away everybody but Joe Harris. You see, it did not work. And that's why I'm saying let's do something different, because when we did that, it did not work. So let's do something different and, build with a center again. We was getting busy with Jared Allen at the 22nd pick. Let's go after a center. Please don't draft a point guard, a 2 guard, a 3, or 4, but a center. I'm talking 6'10" or better. Please.
Yeah. All right, this is 9 o'clock. I'm about to go live on Nixon-ish. But yeah, I ain't got much left to say because I'm about to say a whole lot on the next show. You feel me? So y'all pull up because I haven't done this in a while. If you in the building, I'm gonna put the link in the comments so y'all can pull up. You feel me? And chop with your boy. You feel me? I feel like having a conversation with my people tonight. So yeah, I'm about to do that. So
yeah,
listen, man. You could come and watch, but tread lightly, bro. I don't want to have to kick you out again.
I'm chilling, man. I hope the Brooklyn Nets keep the 23rd pick, man. I'm gonna probably pull up, but I'm gonna be watching because I don't watch college basketball a lot. So I'm gonna watch some of the centers, and I'm gonna do a vlog on that. Next time y'all see me pull up, I'll do a vlog on or a show on who we could select for the 23rd pick. So yeah, stay tuned. You know what I'm saying? I'll be back soon. I don't know how soon. Is the game on tonight?
Yeah, somebody playing tonight.
Because if the game on,
I've been loosely keeping tabs on the playoffs. I ain't really been.
Yeah, it's different when your team not in.
Mavs and Warriors is playing right now.
Nice. So yeah, I'm gonna probably go watch that game. Watch Spencer Dinwiddie. Hopefully, he have a good game. You know what I'm saying? You know,
lucky I didn't even get into y'all letting
the whole
Spencer.
karma with the Dinwiddie. Trust me, I
Hey,
know.
listen,
And
man.
again, like I said, just to bring it back, like you say about the dip, if we would have kept Joe Harris is the last guy we should have kept out of the core four. You know, we paid him and didn't pay Jared, didn't pay Karras or Spencer Dinwiddie. We missed. So we've been playing cleanup since we really traded Jared Allen, in my opinion. And I think we got a chance this offseason to, again, Sean Marks had a press conference apologizing to for disappointing the fans.
He need to.
So
This is his
yeah.
fault. This is all his fault.
But he stepped up and I respect that. I respect he not ducking and he addressed the press. He really addressed the fans. You know what I'm saying? So I respect that and I appreciate that.
He didn't want what happened to what's happening to Leon Rose that happened to him.
What would they do to Leon Rose?
Because you know the media was like, oh, he don't want to talk to the media, the fans. Oh, he don't want to talk to the fans. So he's like, I better hurry up and say something because I don't want them to come at my head.
Yeah, but again, we expected to win.
This is all his fault because at the end of the day, you know, he traded away everything that made y'all relevant. He traded away everything.
We were building.
He traded away everything that made KD and Kyrie want to come to the organization in the first place.
You know, I want to say this last thing and before we leave. Building the culture, you never trade away a player that's a rookie that developed a nickname on his way getting better. Joe Harris, Karras, and Spencer Dinwiddie didn't have no nickname, but we had the fro for Jared Allen. Never trade away a player that got a nickname that's a rookie. He got his nickname here from a rookie. So that's the lesson that I learned. If you develop a nickname as a player, you keep him in the city. You know what I'm saying? So Cam Thomas got plenty of nicknames. Cool hand, Cam Thomas. So yeah, you know, that's the next player we need to keep. And again, thank y'all for tuning in. And I can't share. I got banned from Facebook last time I shared for like 3 days. So please, if you like something, hit that like button. And sharing is caring. Share. Thank y'all for tuning in. Peace.
Word. Yeah, we about to go live on Nixon Issue. Pull up. I'm going live right now. I'm about to set up the room and we about to jump right into it. I holla if you available, put the link in the comments. Pull up on your boy. You feel me? I holla. See y'all next Friday on Who Run the City. But I'll see y'all in a few minutes on Nixon Ish. You ready?
All right. Peace, y'all.